Let's make sure this is going. Hello. Alright, go ahead and talk for me, guys.
Hey, yo, it's Aho here.
Can't hear you, Jess, so might want to adjust that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I am here with the second overall pick of the VPHL Season 1 draft, Mr. Aho 20, who is going to be playing for the Vancouver team. We just did our draft here a second ago, and honestly, it went a lot better than I thought it would. So, Aho, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good,
Alright, awesome. Alright, so I'm going to go through some questions. I'm going to ask you pretty much how you think your team's built, how you feel about going into this season, a bunch of other stuff like that. Alright, so first of all, how do you feel about being the second overall pick?
Well, you know, I'm pretty stellar about it. I got drafted to the Nucks, and I'm pretty happy about that. Feel like they did a good job with the players they protected and who they got in the draft.
Perfect. So what do you know about their protected players? Did they draft well based on their positions and everything?
Honestly, I think they did, because I think Dark is the owner, right, and he plays goalie, and he's a pretty solid goalie. They have Cry, and he at defense already, and as far as I played games with him, he's done a stellar job with breakout passes and playing pretty good positionally. And then the other night we were running some scouting games. I had my bud Josh, who also got drafted to the Nucks, on right wing, and we had Suits, who was on left wing, and I was in the middle at center, and we were making kids teams quit in like the first period. Like we had like 7 goals on them, so, and we were playing pretty stellar, and we're all on the team together, so I feel like they did a really good job.
Perfect. So how do you think your team's going to do this season? Do you think you guys are going to be able to compete in that tough Western Conference?
Like honestly, I'm biased because it's my team, but like I feel like we're going to be a top team, hands down. I don't see us being a bottom team, but you never just know how things are going to go. But honestly, I feel like we have a good chance to go all the way.
Perfect. So there was a team that drafted right after you guys in Toronto, and that's the Commissioners team. Do you think that they're going to be able to compete very well with the drafting that was done for the other teams?
You know, there's a lot of thought that goes into that with who they picked, and the people. I did some scouting with Toronto, and when I was playing with them, they weren't bad. They were doing good things. So honestly, I think they will be able to compete, but I wasn't really paying attention to who they drafted later on in the rounds. So I can't really give a whole honest answer if they're gonna be a bottom team, top team, or what. But I feel like, you know, they're gonna compete, so they could compete.
Got it. So you were the second overall pick. There was a man selected. His name is I'm Canadian A, as the first overall pick. How do you feel about him going above you in this draft?
You know, doesn't he plays defense, correct?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, so that just goes down to what the team thought they wanted for their first pick. So if they want a D-man for their first pick, I feel like he was the guy they should have chose. I played some games with him, and he's pretty stellar. He's very good positionally, and if that's what they wanted to go with D, then that was a good pick in my opinion.
Perfect. All right. So based on how your team is constructed, what do you think you bring to that team?
Well, I just, you know, playmaking ability. Depending on if they want me at left wing or center, or where they want me. I'm pretty good at playmaking, and if they're gonna do the line, which I hope they will, I'll probably be the playmaker, setting up a lot of scoring for my wingers if they have me at center. But I honestly feel like we're gonna do good, and I just contribute with playmaking for them.
Perfect. All right. I don't have any more questions. So the top 10 picks, guys, so that we remember this. The first pick was I'm Canadian A. Second pick was Aho20. Third pick was Chief Trout. Number 4 was John Cook. Number 5 was Just Look at It. Number 6 was Green Goblin. Number 7 was myself. Number 8 was USMC Butter. Number 9 was Squid. And number 10 was Big Eunice. And in here with us, we have the GM, owner, captain. I don't know what he is. He's part of the management for Detroit. Mr. Jess, how are you doing, bud? Good. So with how you guys drafted and with your guys' first pick, what was your guys' thoughts going into this draft? Oh, here, hold on. You're still not able to be heard. Oh. Here, hold on. You're still not able to be heard. Okay, so whatever setting, so go into your party settings and make it to where your voice is allowed.
Okay,
Alright, go ahead and talk for me.
Can you hear me? Hello? Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you. Alright, so based on how you guys drafted, let's go through that again because you weren't able to be heard. With how you went drafted, how do you feel that you guys, pretty much your mindset going into the draft?
Well, I felt like there was not going to be many D guys available late in the draft, and I had a Squid playing a few games for me, and he just seemed to click with the entire team and anybody that we put him with, and he was highly sought after, I felt like, so we picked him up in the first round there.
Perfect. And so with your guys' protected players and your first 2 draft picks, you guys kind of solidified your whole entire first line. How do you think, first line wise, how do you think all you guys are going to produce, essentially? Do you guys think it's going to be more of a fast tempo, slow tempo? Where do you guys think you're going to be placing at?
I feel as though we're going to have a fast rush. We got fast guys on the wings and a good center, and then the 2 D-men, they can get up in the rush there, and got our goalie back there that is a solid keeper, so I feel like we're going to do good this year.
Perfect. Another thing that we want to know is, with rankings, who do you think is going to be the top player in this league, like points wise? This is coming from an owner. Like, what do you think that they're going to be, essentially?
Top player in the league this year. I feel as though that anyone that can get it past Alex is going to win.
Okay.
Alex the goalie of Montreal there.
Okay, so anyone that can get it past him. So with most of the picks, I'm looking at them. It looks like you guys, with your picks, did you guys go for friends of yours, or did you actually do like a lot of scouting and a lot of drafting preparedness coming into this draft?
I spent many hours scouting and looking at every single possible player that came to me, and I went to many players and gave them all a shot, and I had many left on the list of draft board, so I feel like I got everybody that I wanted and needed. I feel like we did good.
Perfect. All right. So in the first few, this is for both of you. The first 3 rounds, the amount of goaltenders taken was actually astonishing. Like there was only I think 4 or 3 goaltenders taken. Why do you think that is?
Typically, I think it's in a couple teams already had goaltenders like protected, and finding a backup,
Got it.
Yeah, myself, I already had a goalie locked down, so I was just kind of going into the draft looking for a solid backup, and I feel like I got a solid backup and close to solid there.
Yeah. So with most of the backups that were picked, it was there was a few that were picked. I know that Seattle, we picked ours as um our last pick. Our last pick um was our backup goaltender. So with players doing what they were, so owners getting their goaltenders early that were their backups. Like let's take for example with Toronto. Toronto picked I think it was 3 or 4 goaltenders plus they had Sparks. So what do you think the thought process going into that was? I believe so. I believe they drafted 3 and then they had Sparks as a goaltender as well. Perfect. All right.
Yeah, I feel the same way there, kind of like you use them for trading, like trading ability down the road. If you got an extra one that doesn't work out for you, send them down the road, and maybe you'll pick up another player that isn't doing so well for their team, and they might just come in and become an all-star for your team there.
Okay. Perfect. That leads to my next thing, Mr. Jess. With how trades are working essentially, with the amount of like how much time do you think you're gonna have need to figure out whether or not you need to trade some of these players you drafted?
I feel like it'll be a couple weeks of playtime. Probably like I'd say about maybe even like 2 or 3 weeks, and we'll go from there.
All right. Perfect. Um. All right. Aho. With how you produce in other leagues, because how many other leagues do you play in? You play in 3 other, correct? Mm-hmm. All right, perfect. So are there any parting words you guys would like to say before I get the league commissioner in here for his interview? Okay, so let's do your draft analysis. Let's do your top 3 sleeper picks. Agreed. Yep, Seattle drafted him at 27. Yeah, Seattle got a bunch of steal picks in this draft. Either either it's going to be somewhere. It's somewhere on the forward end. Yep, he's definitely. Yeah, I saw that coming, obviously. Perfect. All right. Well, thank you, you two, for coming to do interviews. I appreciate it very much. As of right now, I have the league commissioner himself, Mr. Sparks T53, the owner of the Toronto Maple Leafs. How are you doing? Perfect. All right. So, how do you think the first draft went for this year? Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I know that's how Seattle felt too. We got robbed. Mm. Yep. Perfect. Awesome. So, how do you think the diversity, at least so far, looking at the rosters, who do you think is going to be the top ended team? And not being biased based on the rosters that we have set up so far, who do you think? Okay, so we'll go with top three teams. Who do you think are going to be the top three teams in the league?
I'd say I think Montreal's gonna be up there.
Mm-hmm.
I think I have a feeling Vancouver will be up there, and potentially someone else who could be. Let me see. I wish I had the actual rosters together right now because I haven't updated
Yep,
them
I know it's
recently.
really quick because we're doing post interviews literally 10. I think I started doing them 30 minutes after the draft, maybe.
No, way earlier I think.
Oh, okay. Well, way earlier than that apparently. I'm quick on my
Like
feet.
right after this interview is done, I'm gonna be going on the website and updating everything, all the rosters and stuff like that. But yeah, right now I think Vancouver and Seattle I think will be pretty good.
Hmm.
And Vancouver, Seattle, and who's the other team I just said?
Though I don't freaking remember. Vancouver, Seattle, and
The
Montreal.
second East team. Yeah, Montreal.
Okay, so that could be honestly for the finals. I would love to see a Montreal versus Seattle game because if for some of you who don't know, we have a bit of a beef with Montreal, and I would love to have the cup going between those two teams. That would be nuts.
One thing I'd love to have too is if for the Western Conference Finals, the Vancouver versus Calgary, because they got a beef too. That would be pretty good.
Yeah, that'd be pretty sick too. Honestly, I think there's a lot of rivalries already happening, which is good for the league. It helps it grow.
We don't exactly like Montreal, right? Or the Leafs.
Yeah, we can't stand Montreal. So I think the next question is, so we actually had a situation happen where Florida's pick decided that it was just gonna up and leave. I think it was their 31st pick, right?
Yeah.
So
First overall pick.
yeah, so I think you guys handled that pretty well. You just gave him a pick right then and there once you figured it out. Do you think that was equal compensation though for that pick?
I don't think it was, but I don't know what we could have done. Like that is obviously the most time-consuming time because we don't want to have to cancel everyone's already picks if they're probably already getting their teams into their discords. It would really just inconvenience everyone else. Like it sucks for Florida, but at least we caught it early. Like at least we didn't catch it in like the 7th round.
Hmm.
Because I think we caught it in like
The
the
fifth.
4th or 5th round.
Yep.
Yeah.
So are you guys gonna be? So I know that there's auto assigning happening. Does that mean they're gonna get the first auto assigned person, just to make up for that kind of?
Oh, if like I said, auto assign, it's completely randomized. Right now, I think before we start mass auto assigning, we're gonna wait, give people 48 hours, see if any people's picks are like inactive,
Decide to just take
and
off
then
on them.
auto assign them
Yep.
their picks first.
Okay. Perfect.
The rosters even.
Awesome. All right, and also your what was it? Your 38th pick, I believe. Was it 38 where you took my cousin? Yep. Number 38. You decided to take a balling on an Alaskan. How do you think the internet connection is going to deal with that? I know that it's a pretty difficult thing dealing with Alaska internet connection.
I mean, when I've played with them, we've been absolutely fine.
Okay. Um, all right. So the next person I'm going to bring in here, I'm going to bring in Dark Shadow Fire. He is the Vancouver Canucks owner. This is going to be the last interview. This is pretty much, yep, this is pretty much to find out from him how he feels about drafting Aho and figuring out what his what like his plans are essentially. We will definitely. I think this season there's definitely four teams, like what I'm thinking, there's four teams that are up for contention. And I think it's Vancouver, Toronto, Montreal, and Seattle. Those are like my my four top end picks. People that could sneak in easily could be Detroit and could very easily be what was the other team? I could see Florida maybe sneaking in, and I could see Minnesota maybe sneaking in. But with us now, we have Mr. Dark Shadow Fire, the owner, I believe, of the Vancouver Canucks. How are you doing, sir? I am doing good. All right, so I have the man, the myth, the legend in here, Mr. Aho 20, and you decided to draft him number 2. Were you excited to be able to get him second?
Yes, I was actually pretty anxious. I thought Washington was going to get him first, but our whole plan was getting all 20, no matter what.
Perfect. So with how the draft went, how do you think it was handled from an from a owner standpoint? Like, do you think it was handled very well?
All the owners did pretty good in the draft. It was handled very well. I was impressed with the first year of the draft. Besides that, it went good.
Okay, perfect. So I kind of asked them. I'm gonna ask Jess and Sparks after this. So your three sleeper picks from the whole draft. Who do you think they are?
My sleeper picks. I think one would be Sweaty Flames,
Hmm.
Trolley Jolly, and Grand Cash 822 would be my three sleeper picks.
Okay. So with Green Cash, I gotta be honest. I have not heard of him. Um, is like what is his kind of play style? Is he more of like a stay-at-home kind of player, or is he more of an aggressive type?
To be honest with you, as we were catching up at last update, we would how he plays, but stay at home.
Okay, perfect. Next thing that I want to know is from Jess. Who are your 3 sleeper picks for the whole entire draft? Not just your team, the whole entire draft.
The sleeper picks for the entire draft.
Yep, like who do you think is going to be the sleeper picks? Like who got selected in a spot that was way too low for them?
Honestly, I think that Squirrelology going to Toronto is going to be a sleeper pick, honestly.
Okay.
Then I would say Ood, maybe? Or Double OD 9600.
Yep,
I think he's gonna be a definite sleeper for Montreal. If he's there to play, he's gonna like be a rock star in the league.
Yeah.
Honestly, other than that, I think like anybody could be a sleeper pick. Honestly, like everybody has the same amount of chances you or I do. So.
Mm-hmm. All right. So what about you, Mr. Kamish? Who do you think your sleeper picks are for the whole draft?
I'd say one is I don't think that someone who wins goalie of the week should like be a 6th round pick, late 6th round, which our goalie Merm Awesome was, and I'd agree with. Wait, let me see. I'd say I think Crawfish could be. He's, from what I've heard, he's a decent player.
Mm.
And another player that I think went a bit low is, I'd say Bearded Butte.
Yeah, Bearded Butte
doesn't really seem like a 3rd round pick, like
Yep.
a late 3rd round.
Bearded Butte got picked very, very late, and for Seattle, we were very happy, like, because we were able to pick Grimy, which, if most of you don't know, I do play LG as well, and Grimy was my owner for LG. So being able to get him in the 2nd round was very, very nice. I think honestly the top 3 sleeper picks that I've seen, and luckily I've been able to look at all these guys for the most part. I think my number 1 sleeper pick, in all honesty, is gonna be that what is his name? Mr. I'm Awesome. He is gonna be the number 1 sleeper pick of the whole entire draft, ridiculously. I think that number 2 you're gonna hit Nick the Hick. A lot of people don't know who he is. He is a all-around player. He plays every single position, and he's good. And he was drafted number 47. I think that, and the next one after that, I think is gonna be Bearded Butte. Honestly, Bearded for the play style he plays should not have been a 3rd round pick. He should have been easy. I was surprised he was even there in the 2nd round. He is a very good defenseman. His stats for every league that he plays in, he plays in WC as well. His stats for WC are good, and his defensive percentages are great. So I think the last question I have is, Dark Shadow, how do you think that Aho's gonna affect your team? Like, what is he gonna bring to your team? Perfect. Alright, so unless we can get this last person in here, this is gonna be, no? Okay. Alright, I don't get him in. Alright, so guys, that is our last interview. Guys, I want to appreciate and thank you guys for coming on to the VPHL official YouTube channel to do a draft. You guys, the people on YouTube, you guys will be seeing a lot more of this. We'll be doing weekly breakdowns. We'll be doing plays of the week. We'll be doing a bunch of stuff. There will be top 3 stars of the week, top team of the week. We'll be doing top management of the week.
Goalie.
There will be a top goalie as well. Also, the commissioner will do a commissioner pick for top player of the week. And yeah,
I'd say also, like, at the end, I mean, you guys could. I mean, playoffs is going to be a completely different story. With just media will pick up a lot then.
yeah, media during the playoffs, we will be doing a breakdown of almost every single game. Actually,
I'd say
will be
skip
every
the
single
first
game.
round.
Yeah, we'll be doing every single game breakdown, pretty much going over everything. So yeah. Thank you guys. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you everybody for coming on. All right, and have a good day. Peace out from VPHL.